It's a good day to play the Talos Principle 2. Welcome to part 18. Last episode, we explored the third part of the megastructure where we freed Prometheus. And when we came back, a little surprise awaited us here. The mayor came to see for himself what we are doing here. And yeah, so this is going to be interesting with him here. But yeah, looks like we're approaching the final direction west. So let's go explore what we can find in West 1. Okay, so all of these locations are unlocked. Let's start with West 1. Western Delta. A river valley gradually drowned by the encroaching sea. The brackish water is a unique ecosystem with many endemic species. Alright, let's go.
How's the system looking, Melville? Any obvious changes?
It's still a mess, but things are clearing up. I can access some of the subroutines that I was locked out of before. Nothing is obviously malfunctioning, I think.
Does it still accord special significance to 1K?
Yes, it recognizes 1K as a user. I'm just hacking things.
As I suspected, the founder sees you, 1K.
Ooh. It's like a marshland type area. It's a little bit bleak. So we'll have Prometheus there. Yeah. So the moat is somewhere there. Probably that. No, that's a recording. Yeah. What do these two do here? Ram?
Greetings.
Hello. Do you think the goal is a myth?
It's not hard-coded into us. It may be a distraction from what really is.
What's your vision of our future?
A place where conflict and suffering don't happen, because its people have worked out how to live harmoniously.
What are your thoughts on the theory of everything?
I'm more of a classicist than a physicist, but I doubt infinite power in the physical realm will solve our conflicts in the spiritual one.
And what do you make of the island?
I cannot deny that it has a certain allure. Puzzles are part of our programming, and what Athena has created here speaks to that part of ourselves. After all, what am I doing if not trying to solve a puzzle? The puzzle of human morality.
What can you tell me about Cornelius?
Cornelius founded the Museum of the Simulation and greatly encouraged the work of the archive scholars. He and Eustathius are the bedrock of scholarship in New Jerusalem. His entanglement with all this seems absurd to me.
That's all. What about you, Friar?
What can I do for you, 1K?
Do you think the goal is a myth?
As a journalist, I think the line between speculation and disinformation is too thin for me to engage in guessing games.
Alright. So what are your thoughts on the theory of everything?
It's a complex issue, and I think it should be left to experts.
Tell me about yourself.
I believe that journalism serves an important function in our society, and I'm dedicated to reporting the truth with accountability and responsibility.
That's honorable. What does responsibility mean in the context of your work?
It means understanding that I can't just publish things without considering their impact. Serious disruptions to the social fabric of New Jerusalem could endanger lives. That's not journalism anymore.
So you're either omitting the truth or painting the reality in a way that does not alter the standing, state of the society, which means you're not reporting the truth which means you don't have journalistic integrity. That's all. Alright. Well, let's do number 1. It's so close here. What is that? It's just part of the environment. But yeah, what news do we have here? Servitor. Any new mechanics? Okay. Looks like this is a switch, so either this is turned on or that is turned on. Oh. So we have a bled. Well, let's see what's behind this. A blue one. Okay. Okay. Easy enough. So we'll have to jump over to the other side, get that connector, and put a blue connection there. We're gonna come back, put this right over here. And take that, and just jump over. And I'll put this here. Activate it. Then move it. Alright, and get the... Okay, we have to move it closer. Enough. There we go. That's a good introduction into how platforms work. They can weigh down buttons.
I
You
know
can jump
you're all
on them.
thinking about the goal and the theory of everything. Is the past what we thought it was? Is the future what we want it to be? But the only thing that's real, at the end of the day, is the present. And right now, what matters is that our friend is lost and needs our help.
Yeah. We need to find him and we need to free him. Alright. Number 2. Supportive apparatus. So we have a red emitter. Can get a red connection. And we need to get the red right there. Alright. It's behind this door. Okay, cool. Should be possible for us to get him out. Okay, he's out. Which means we have a box. can use to open that gate. And once we have this second connector, we can't see it from here. It will be impossible to pass there. But there's a ceiling there, which means we can move it here and put it on a box right there. Alright, just do that. And move him into the correct location. Right about there. Now we can take the box right here, and it's got connect. Perfect. Usually when I solve puzzles, I try to picture the end result, what it needs to look like, and then how the individual pieces forming the puzzle, forming the solution, what are the requirements for them, and how I get them into that position without blocking away another component in a different piece, or a different area of the puzzle. So that's my process of thinking. Alright, we have another social media post, the goal mega thread. I recognize that many citizens feel the need to discuss the visions experienced by 1K, which suggests that perhaps certain aspects of what we have hitherto believed about the founder and the goal may be inaccurate. However, given the controversy surrounding the subject matter, I will ask everyone to be particularly careful in how they express themselves. I think we have final and irrevocable proof that we've strayed from Athena's original vision. I agree, but I'd like to submit that even if that weren't the case, deliberately engineering an energy-poor future would still be a disastrous and misanthropic idea. How do we know any of this is real? Athena's voice is just Alexander Drennan's. I could switch to the same voice back right now and record myself telling you that the goal is the truth. Ovis makes a good point. Objective truth is not a concept that can be applied to the world we live in. Fine. Then we can just collectively decide to believe in something else, right? Doesn't even have to be Athena, let's just believe in Byron's ideas instead. Byron's ideas are a teleological fantasy. But if it's all arbitrary, what does that matter? What does that matter? I should not buy this whole goal thing anymore. Byron was right. Does it matter what Athena believes? Honest question. Let's say the founder is a myth that was constructed around her. In that scenario, what do we owe Athena at the end of the day? We should at least take her idea seriously. I mean, she's equal to us all, but she has some interesting points, and she has experience, so... I can't argue with that. I don't know if these really were her true ideas, but if they were, then we need to think about why she would embrace this outdated ethos, and then consider whether the essence of the goal could be maintained without belief in the founder. That's blasphemy. The founder is the heart of the goal. Maybe, maybe not. Or none of this matters because it's actually aliens. Coming back with the alien theory. Alright. Number 3. Have that recording there. It will take us there eventually. Yeah, puzzle number 3. Automatic doors. Okay, so probably a cycle. We need a red at the end. We have this. We will need red. But we also need blue. This guy needs to be here. But we also need to connect red. I can see the blue from here, which means, yeah, the platform needs to be here. This guy needs to be on this platform and connected to the red. Okay, so final stage is we have the blue laser connecting to this guy on the platform inside of this room, connecting to that room. This guy opening this door for us to pass through. Technically, we cannot take these out, which means this has to be here. We can prolong the blue signal so that we can see this red. I don't think there is a... Yeah, there's not a red thing here. Which means... somehow... Right, we can use this to power this door. Okay, I think I know. Put this here. Alright. Okay, I think I know. Put this here. We pass it through. Okay, never mind. You will not see it. Connect this. Cannot. Okay. Hmm. I need to pass this through while this is open. It cannot see this. This will not pass through. Hmm. Wait a minute. If this guy is connected to this, it will get a blue connection on this platform because this is the main signal. But this will be the second, which means it will just cross in the middle. So when it crosses there, it will no longer have a blue connection, which means it will have a red connection from this one, and it will open up that door. But this needs to be connected to that as well. So it's not about sealing it away, but it's about it's about switching between the two. Okay. A little more difficult than the previous ones, but
Well
I'm
done,
glad
1K.
that we figured it out. I'll read that in a second. You could.
Hey, can we talk for a second?
Of course.
I'm still struggling. I was really hoping we'd find Miranda alive. Her way of seeing the world was so inspiring. And the idea that I can never get to know her, that she's gone,
I'm sorry.
I guess I've never really been good at dealing with death. Maybe because it's so rare in New Jerusalem. Except for pets, and even in that case, I find it very hard to deal with. I still miss my first cat, and it's been over a century since she died.
I've never had to deal with death, but I imagine it's hard.
When someone dies, it's this void. I know I should just let it go, but some part of me refuses. And I feel like that part, it hurts me, but it also keeps me human. And I know it would be healthier if I said, okay, Miranda is someone I never met. She's just a bunch of glitchy old files. But if I do that, as rational as it seems, it feels like I'm surrendering something. Something that matters.
Don't let go. Use the pain as a foundation to build something.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of pain as something you can use. If I can take the pain and use it to create something or to do something, maybe that's a way of not surrendering to death. Thanks, 1K. I'm really gonna think about that.
You're welcome. But I wanted to ask you about something else.
Of course, go ahead.
What do you think about Mayor Romanubis?
I think he's done his best. I don't disrespect him, but I'm not sure he's leading us down the right path. Despite everything that's gone wrong here, I'm not sure we should just reject what the megastructure has to offer.
Do you ever think about your future?
On the one hand, there's so much we could do with the theory of everything. So many lives I could live. I have enough ideas for the next, 20,000 years, easily. And that's just from 5 minutes of thinking about it. On the other hand, Miranda's gone. So much hope, so much grief. I don't know how to balance that.
How's Bruce?
I hear he escaped Pellegrino and peed all over Melville's workshop. So apparently, he's doing great. I miss him, though. I always feel like the fact that he likes me is a huge compliment. Lifts me up somehow.
Do you think the goal is just a myth?
Honestly, I'm not sure how I couldn't see it more clearly before. It doesn't match anything Alexander Drennan believed in, And continuing Drennan's legacy was Athena's whole point.
Now that you've solved the puzzle, would you like to try another one?
Nope. But at least I finally understand why Athena wanted to get out of the simulation so badly.
It was fun. Tell me something irrelevant.
In the ancient year 1969, a band called Mellow Macaron wrote a psychedelic rock song about the Talos Principle. It's called Cretan Bronze Man's Flying Mystery Adventure.
That's a weird title.
You should see the rest of the album. There's a song about a disembodied tongue called The Taste of Your Elbow. It's 15 minutes long and features an improvised tuba solo.
Is it any good?
I think you need psychedelics to enjoy it, really. Maybe if you stick your head inside a really large magnet.
All right. Well, let's go to number 4. Okay, so there's a question mark behind there. A lost puzzle. But we have a recording here, so let's listen to that.
You know, when I decided that we should call ourselves human, I did that because it seemed like a powerful symbol of our continuity. But the truth is, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I thought we were better than them. I thought we understood the value of civilization, and we wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. But the simulation worked too well.
We're not just like them. We are them.
We really are.
But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, Athena. We may have the same flaws, but we also have all the potential they did. Everything that Alexandra Drennan saw in them is also in us.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Oh well.
1K, listen, I wanted to ask you something. From your perspective, as someone who's still new to our society, do you think New Jerusalem betrayed Athena?
New Jerusalem isn't monolithic.
It's not, you're right. And Byron and a handful of others stood up for Athena. But what did I do? Just kept working. The occasional sarcastic remark isn't resistance. It's not fighting for something. It's just thinly disguised apathy.
Apathy is also a valid reaction. I mean, there's struggle in acceptance and revolt. Don't let your empathy for Athena make you forget your legitimate doubts.
Is that what I'm doing? I'm not so sure.
I had another question. How do you feel about Mayor Herman as a leader?
When I think about the state New Jerusalem is in, he's put us all in danger. I don't know if he really believes in the goal or if it's just a convenient myth, but I don't care. This is not how you build a living civilization.
Where do you think Cornelius is?
I don't know. I suspect he's around here somewhere, biding his time. But what he's waiting for, not a clue.
Do you think the goal is a myth?
Yes, of course it is.
Why was it so easy for people to believe in the goal?
Because there's no effort involved. Building a better world means taking responsibility. It means making choices and living with their consequences. Surrendering to nature is just letting go.
What do you want to do with your future?
I'd like to help make New Jerusalem the city it was meant to be. And then I'd like to help build new cities. On Earth and up there too. Cities nobody's ever imagined before.
Sounds like a plan. Alright, number 4. Surfing. Okay, so we have a box here. We have a blue. It's a fan. And I guess I need both. Alright, well, I think the first thing I can do is bring this over to here so that I can get a box. Now that I do have a box, I think we can move it a bit further. So that you're here. And that is here. Okay, I can just do this. There we go. Now we have a fan and a connector. Now that we do have a connector, what does that do? Picks it up. Alright. Very nice. Alright, so that's
Tell me,
4
Akut,
done.
what impact do you think the megastructure will have on the future of this island?
It depends on what we do with it. Miranda used it to spread life, to make things better. We can do the same.
And yet, poor Miranda lost her own life doing so.
She just made a mistake. 1K was right. She was lonely. She wanted to speed up the process, get to New Jerusalem. We can be more careful.
What can I do for you, 1K?
Could the theory of everything be used safely?
Let's assume for a moment that we could use it safely, which I doubt. Does that mean that we should? Is it right for us to dominate the world? We value our own freedom, Should we not also value the freedom of all the living things with which we share this planet?
Who's running the city while you're gone?
My chief aide, Jeremy, is in charge for now. It's good practice for him, in case he decides to run for office one day.
Tell me about Cornelius.
Cornelius is responsible for many innovations. He helped create the designs for the upgraded body you inhabit, although the founder chose to remain in her original configuration. But in recent years, he had settled into a life of quiet scholarship. Or so it seemed.
About the founder.
Not now. Let's have this conversation at another time. You still have a lot to do. Better get to it.
Rude. Alright. We have Prometheus here. It's a terminal. But yeah, that was 4. Number 5 is this way. So what are you? From Orvinia. Athena, I know that we didn't have the greatest relationship, and I frequently antagonized you. The truth is, I resented you. Resented this mythology of the founder. I thought you had created it deliberately, as a way of controlling us. I wanted so badly to be free, and you seemed to stand in the way of that. Only after you left and the cult of personality grew even wilder did I realize it was actually a burden and an impediment to you. When they turned your myth into the opposite of everything you actually believed, started tearing down your dreams in your own name, I realized I'd wronged you. And now I'm less free than ever. I feel the walls crushing me. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. I don't know if coming back would fix things, but I'm sorry. Atlas from Athanasius. Atlas and Ladon from the Atlas Variations by Athanasius. After 1 billion years, when Atlas had grown old and tired of holding up the world, he was faced with a dilemma. Heracles, the son of Zeus, was on his way to the Garden of the Hesperides to claim the golden apples, which were guarded by the dragon Ladon. Zeus came to Atlas and promised that if Atlas helped Heracles slay the dragon, Zeus would free Atlas from his burden. But Atlas, seeing the beauty and innocence of Ladon, beloved of the Hesperides, could not slay the beast. Instead, he stole the apples and gave them to Heracles, and so he was condemned to bear the weight of the cosmos for another 1 billion years. But though Atlas grieved for his freedom, he was comforted by watching Ladon flourish in the verdant garden. Wild Fragment. Oscar Wilde. Joy and beauty from the soul of man. Sympathy with pain there will, of course, always be. It is one of the first instincts of man. The animals which are individual, the higher animals, that is to say, share it with us. But it must be remembered that while sympathy with joy intensifies the sum of joy in the world, sympathy with pain does not really diminish the amount of pain. It may make man better, able to endure evil, but the evil remains. Sympathy with consumption does not cure consumption. That is what science does. Christ made no attempt to reconstruct society, and consequently the individualism that he preached to man could be realized only through pain or in solitude. The ideals that we owe to Christ are the ideals of the man who abandons society entirely, or of the man who resists society absolutely. But man is naturally social. Even the Thebaid became peopled at last. Even the Thebaid became peopled at last. And though the Cenobite realizes his personality, it is often an impoverished personality that he so realizes. Shallow speakers and shallow thinkers in pulpits and on platforms often talk about the world's worship of pleasure and whine against it, but it is rarely in the world's history that its ideal has been one of joy and beauty. When you tell people that a society could be built on the ideals of joy and beauty, They think you're a utopian fantasist. If you tell them society will always be built on exploitation and greed, they think you're wise. So they make the outcome inevitable. Performative cynicism has always been the hallmark of adolescence. But has there ever been a society of adults? Can there ever be one? Why is this childishness so extremely powerful? More powerful than joy and beauty? Yeah. So that we linked to those ideals instead of positivity. Well, number 5. Let's go. Nuisance. Okay, so we have this. It opens quick. Okay, there's the buffer zone. And maybe somehow I will be able to... Okay, so I need to get there. But I'll need to interrupt the connection. And there's a connector here. Alright, so this one has to stay here. Okay. So I think that I connect it to this. And then every once in a while it will be interrupted. Which will let me shoot over to the other side. When I stand here, eventually, it'll be launched. Yeah. Cool. It's all starting to make sense, kind of. Bootstrapping. It was Prometheus revealed if what Prometheus revealed about the theory of everything is true, then it explains a lot of the patterns I've been finding. Almost every artificial structure on this island was printed into existence in some kind of energy to matter process, or maybe by different versions of that process, some earlier and less effective. And I can only assume that the megastructure itself was created by bootstrapping, having one machine make a bigger one, which probably means you could create a relatively small device that turns itself into a complete megastructure. Or you could make a machine that just deploys more and more of itself and builds something. A city in a box? Depends on the power source, I guess. Yeah, that would be kind of nice, like a terraforming device where you just drop it onto a moon and it creates a system that that terraforms a planet by itself. A text string extracted from a data stream. On sincerity, I managed to extract the following text string. I'm always struck by the degree to which our ancestors in the years before the end struggled with sincerity. They became poisoned with irony, unable to parse any information through anything except a thick layer of alienation. This left so little space for any kind of intellectual authenticity that they seemed to exist in a state of permanent agony. Ironically, that in turn made them extremely susceptible to the few sanctioned forms of sincerity which acted as a means of social control. And there's a gap, followed by, there's something equally damaged in our own estrangement from our humanity. We mimic the forms and behaviors of our human ancestors, but we don't act like proud inheritors of the human condition. Everything we do gets filtered through this perpetual awareness of their shortcomings, to the degree that we act as if our existence was one of their failures. author unknown. Whoever it is, I understand what they mean but disagree with their conclusion. This perpetual awareness isn't a form of alienation. It's a way of learning from the mistakes of our species. Unpleasant, but necessary. It is. It's why history is in schools, to give us an idea into what the past looked like, so we don't make the same mistakes as they did. So that we can avoid tragedies. Alcatraz.
Everything all right?
Yeah, you're the last one that I didn't talk to. Do you think the goal is a myth?
It's possible. I won't trust Prometheus until he actually leads us to Byron, but yeah, seems likely. But even if it is a myth, that doesn't mean we can just abandon it. Myths can contain elements of truth, and I think this one exists for a reason. Maybe we had to create this imaginary founder because the real one lost her way.
Maybe. Are you sure the founder lost her way?
It's the only way I can explain what she's built here. She got wrapped up in her ideas and lost all sense of perspective.
Maybe she gained a better perspective. One that we don't yet understand. What are your thoughts on the theory of everything?
People have thought they understood everything before. Obviously, Athena has unlocked tremendous powers, but forgive me if I'm skeptical that her theory really encompasses everything.
But what if it does?
Then I don't think it's something we need to know. We're not going to find happiness or meaning in some equation, 1K.
That's true, but it can help us realize our true potential. What do you make of Cryer?
Byron couldn't stand him. Have you ever tried asking the mayor a difficult question, he used to say? But I think he does an all right job, to be honest.
Do you ever deal with the mayor's advisors?
I try to stay out of their circuits, and they try to stay out of mine. Helga is an old friend, but the others, they're not my crowd.
How do you feel about Mayor Hermanubis?
He's smarter than people give him credit for.
He is.
There's more to some folks than meets the eye, you know.
That's all. He is smart, and he knows how to use the things that he gets. Alright, so there's going to be a puzzle, no playing with lasers. So that raised up a blue laser from level 4 or 3 will not be useful.
Father, what is my purpose? Do I have a purpose?
To spread butter.
Mother says purpose is something we choose. But I feel like there's something there. Something that's been there from the moment I was born. Maybe even before.
Well, there are many ways of looking at this, and everyone's experience is different, so you'll have to make up your own mind. But I have a little theory, if you'd like to humor your old man.
Of course. What is it?
The universe is eternal, but it's always lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a tiny little bit of the universe that's suddenly woken up, and you've realized that being awake is better than being asleep. And that gives you a purpose.
And what is my purpose?
To be, Miranda. Just to be.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Alright, so there's going to be another set of pillars, maybe. And we need to press 4 of them. In this pattern. So once we find that, we'll have a star. Alright, number 6. Elements. So that's a blue platform, that's a red platform. We'll need to get a blue here. And this guy... is going to see it. Where do I have a second one? Why do I have a second one? Let's see if that really reaches or if it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. Why does it need to be in the air then? So that it can see red. So that it can see red. Okay, that opens it up. But what is interesting is that.
Excuse me. I was looking at your research log, and I was rather perplexed by the latest upload.
Oh, Melville strikes again.
Is that your foot, Melville?
Yes. Do you want to see it up close? Although you won't be able to fully enjoy it as you don't have a rear camera.
Sorry, Mayor. Melville just has a unique way of taking pictures.
Next time you're getting an upgrade, you coot. I'm installing a mute button.
So I think I need to stand on one. And then stand on the other. I think let's just turn it around. Let's put it there. And now let's just send the red one. Wait. The red one will be here. So this blue one. Let's do that. Okay. That's the moat. Take me to Prometheus. Alright. Somehow I'm supposed to get on the track. Should be here. Okay. It's my star, Melville.
Great works have been accomplished by those who believed in humankind. But greater things than these may yet be accomplished by those who uphold the faith.
Sure. Okay, but we did number 6, so let's go to number 7. That's this one. Breach. Okay, this will change signals. Okay, not that bad.
I'm impressed.
Cool, 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 cool. Something new. Places of longing, Athens. To understand what humanity is capable of, what it means to flourish, we have to look at the golden age of Athenian democracy. The list of geniuses who lived in Athens at this time is so long it's almost inconceivable. Pericles, Sophocles, Aeschylus or Aeschylus, Phidias, Euripides, Herodotus, Thucydides, Plato, Socrates, Hippocrates, Aristophanes, Aristotle, and the list goes on. These are people who changed world history. But without them, there is no Straton of Stagira to inspire Alexander Dran. Without them, we do not exist. Was it a perfect time? No, undoubtedly not. But listing the flaws obscures the greater truth. Given the opportunity, given freedom and resources and space to grow, human beings are capable of incredible things. It would mean everything to me to walk the roads where these people once walked, to stand where they stood, and think about the world as they dared to. So here we have the pattern. And that's Melva's photo. These things must be connected to the Noema system. Maybe I should dig one up, see how it works. One of the indicators. These ones. Alright, let's go number 8. But before that, I think we have Lithrus here, yeah.
The reason I have always admired Alexandra Drennan is that even in death, she fought to see the world as it is, not as she wanted to see it. I say fought because I believe this is not an easy matter. It is a mental and spiritual struggle that we must undertake with great seriousness, even when we are joking. The ancients believed that for most of us, the world is a shadow cast by a flame, dimly seen on the wall of a cave. Our task is not to interpret these shapes, but to free ourselves from the cave itself.
We have of late been told much about what the citizen owes the city. Loyalty, obedience, gratitude. And I will not argue with those who say that without some loyalty to a greater good, a man is little more than a savage. And I will even say that these days there are more savages amongst us than amongst the barbarians, who we call savages out of ignorance and arrogance. But there is another question that we are rarely encouraged to ask. What does the city owe the citizen? What must it offer to earn loyalty, obedience, and gratitude? And if, as we have said, a city is a kind of machine, should a machine that does not fulfill its purpose perhaps be repaired or replaced?
Transference. Okay, we have an exchange. We have a window. We cannot do anything through that window. Yes. Maybe we could teleport through it. Maybe can we send a laser through? We cannot. Oh. teleport through the glass. What's this? This opens up this. And this opens up this. And then I need to make a hole and teleport. I need to make a hole and teleport. Weigh it down with something. This will not be here. Send a signal. Just out of curiosity. No, it's just a window that makes things visible. Wait. This will see it. All the way to there. So I need to bring one through. Put it there. Give the teleporter back. Connect to there. Okay, I'm done. I need the teleporter. Put that here. Get out. Take this with me. Teleporter, I can make a hole. Take the teleporter, put it through, teleport. Nice. Alright, that was a good one.
The founder has a remarkable gift for designing these trials. But then, she did have to overcome Elohim, whose very purpose was to design trials.
Yeah, maybe she's a better designer than Elohim. Alright, but I didn't see any pattern anywhere. Maybe we'll happen upon it in due time. Part of an ancient communications network. A satellite dish. A shattered section of a device used by the ancients to communicate over vast distances. At the height of ancient human civilization, most of the human species was part of a single network. Yeah. Okay, well, closest question mark, this one. Let's go to it. Oh, nice. Okay, what sort of orientation are we looking at? So... okay, we're looking from that side. So we need the left 3 and the middle. So this guy, this guy, this guy, and that guy. Awesome. Let's go get our star. And then the question marks.
In times of war, is it wisdom or folly to give a sword to a child?
Preparing someone for the future. That's just called parenting. Alright, so a lost puzzle. Vertical locomotion. This is off. This opens up. And this opens up the second. That's the blue. You can still see the blue. Put that there. Now we no longer need that. Get up. And we push it through. For that we need both. So yeah, I'll put that here. No, wait. Grab that. Put that instead. Put that one here. Activate teleport. Perfect. Alright. That's one lost puzzle down. Let's go to the next closest question mark. Like one of these two. Let's go to the right one. That's a lab. Go in. This one goes deep. Nothing down here. Splits into different pathways. Okay, that's just the Prometheus moat. Chernyshevsky, 21. On War. From Arkady Chernyshevsky in Our Likeness, Essays on Humankind Reaching Adulthood. War is the crudest, most obscene human activity. It may justly be called an abomination, for it is the absolute negation of conscious human will. There is only a single cause of war, for all the endless deceptions that are foisted upon us, and that is the acquisition of resources. Varied ideologies are constructed to justify this crude behavior, this childish degeneration of thought and communication, but history reveals the ruthless, unflattering truth. We imagine crusaders as fanatics of a cause, willing to die for their religion, yet the Fourth Crusade culminated not in the conquest of Jerusalem, but in the looting of Constantinople, setting the stage for the triumph of the very enemy the Crusaders claimed to oppose. Why? The answer, as with every war, is the same. It is popular amongst the ghouls of the establishment and their misanthropic friends in the intelligentsia to ascribe the persistence of war to human nature, but a careful observation of the facts reveals the opposite to be true. Individual human beings must be broken in order to submit to war, their minds distorted by ideology and their bodies by poverty and ruthless training to make them compliant. Without force, the majority of human beings only seek to protect themselves and are traumatized by the act of killing. But if it is resources that are the core cause of war, then it is only in the production and distribution of resources that an answer may be found. It is not enough to morally condemn war. We must work to prevent the material issues that endanger us all. From Guta. Dear Founder, I'm afraid that we're losing our humanity. We're angry at each other, always disagreeing about everything, unable to forgive each other for being different. I don't know how much longer, and I don't know what could save us. Please help us, Founder, please. Well, that's what makes us human, really. New email project. 5359. Resuming trials with new protocols. Energy output contained. No errors. 5360 to 6397. Hyperbolic growth. 6398 to 7000. Advanced synthesis. Lossless conversion. So Athena continued in the trials, even without Miranda. From Byron. I just wish I knew why you didn't tell me. Byron. Oh, that's sad. Message to Drennan. To Alexander Drennan. Who do you think you are, playing God like this? When Mother Nature has finally found a way of getting rid of us, you come up with this harebrained scheme to keep our destruction of the planet going. Just try for 1 second to think about something other than your own arrogance and hubris, Alexandra. Try to imagine what you're really doing here. Without your robotic perversions, the future looks beautiful. No more humans murdering everything in their path. The skies clear up, the stars become visible again, the rivers stop being filthy, and after a few decades, they're full of fish again. Dolphins and whales roam the seas like their ancestors did. The cities turn into jungles. Bats nest in the skyscrapers where hedge fund managers used to ruin lives. The earth lives on as it was meant to, peacefully and quietly, until someday in the distant future, when it all ends, like it was all so meant to. Or we take your path, we continue our rampage, we place ourselves above the animals we think we know better than Mother Nature, we violate all boundaries, we ruin all purity. Perhaps we even defy death just so we can keep spreading our filth. Then we spread to other planets, to do more of the same. And in the end, what have we left behind but plastic and radiation? Think, Alexandra, isn't it better for beauty to return to the earth? For us to acknowledge that intelligence was a mistake and to gracefully exit while we can. Stop this. Go spend time with your friends and loved ones before the end. Let it go. Let us all go. Let there be peace. I don't understand how someone could hate humanity so much. This person must have been full of sadness and frustration to write something so ugly. I've tried to understand it as well, but I still don't. Straton on Socrates. Against the Athenians and Socrates alike. From the complete works of Straton of Stagira. In killing a philosopher for asking questions they did not like, the Athenians committed themselves to a tragedy with an ironic ending. Some will say that his true crime was his friendship with Alcibiades, the shameless deceiver of idiots and buffoons, and the insipid brute Critias, and that he was executed as an enemy of democracy. He was the latter can hardly be denied, by Socrates asked not too many questions, but too few, or he would not have survived the rule of the 30 tyrants. Yet in the end he got what he asked for, a tyrannical decision made by would-be wise men against the spirit of freedom, which he obeyed like a knave, and the Athenians, in fulfilling his wishes, strangled the roots of democracy while seeking to preserve it. Ouch, no wonder Straton wasn't popular. People who speak the truth at all times rarely are. Well, one last one. I think there was a door. Yeah. There was. From Thekla. Beloved Founder, know that I do not believe any of the lies the expedition is spreading about you. Blank is right. This Prometheus illusion is just a test. We will resist temptation as you once did. We will not disappoint. Praise your name. Okay, so these are messages that have been sent during this expedition. It's not just archived. So presumably Athena is reading them, or someone. Athena history. The history of Athena. Blank was first published as Athena, a novel, and retained that title for its first 3 printings, now highly sought after. After a lull in popularity, it was reprinted as Athena Reborn, a novel. This edition retained the same text, but included some of the author's poetry. The next edition, however, published long after the author's death under the rather embarrassing title Athena's Truth, included severe cuts and drastic changes to the text, in the interest of updating it for modern audiences. This particularly affected the last chapter, Anthropogeny, which the editors accused of scientism and human supremacy. Science wunderkind Alexander Drennan was one of the few to come to the novel's defense, writing in a long essay that the novel's clear-eyed belief in the value of Athena's journey towards humanity had been essential to shaping her own views, encouraging her to pursue science as a vocation rather than a career, and that changing the text constituted an attack on the author's unique artistic and philosophical vision. Alex, who hurt you? LMAO, one of the editors commented on a popular social media platform. Nadia Sarabai of the Institute for Applied Nomatics also got involved in the discussion, backing Drennan, resulting in a long but unsuccessful campaign to oust Sarabai from her position as the head researcher. In the current context of ecological catastrophe, as evidenced by the recent extinction of the orangutan, clumsy editing aside, do the critics of the novel perhaps have a point after all? Is a philosophy that places humans above nature and sees science and technology as the only valid tools the cause of all our troubles? What about other ways of knowing, other ways of living? Yeah, I mean, I don't like what is happening in the current times either. Everything being a reboot of a previous version of something, and being modernized into the things that we see today. I'm not really excited for what will happen in the future with us. Alright, 2 question marks remaining. That is going to be one puzzle and one terminal. So this is the terminal, and there's the puzzle. Against decay. From selected archive documents A to C, we live in a decaying systems, which in turn produces ideologies of decay to justify its existence. No matter what cultural signifiers they get packaged with, these ideologies come down to the same material result, a future in which for the average person there is less of everything. To paraphrase Mark Fisher, we find it easier to imagine the decline of civilization than to imagine a civilization worth living in. Those of us who still believe that humanity can thrive, that there is a path forward other than willful or accidental decay, are out of sync with the system. No matter how we phrase our arguments, they will be perceived in terms of whatever cultural signifiers the listener opposes. It's a deeply frustrating, depressing, even infuriating situation. But what can we do except patiently explain and hope conditions change? In other words, what can we do except have faith? This was written only a few months before the discovery of the virus. There was no time for conditions to change. Day 882 of the founding. It's been a while since I last wrote an entry in my journal. Much has changed in New Jerusalem. We've put up a good chunk of planned living quarters, and the old storage facility has been converted into a movie theater, of all things. So we still argue a lot, but now it's mostly about which film we'll be watching next. Other construction efforts are going well too, although we've begun to run out of readily accessible resources. Our scavenging expeditions are ranching further and further afield with each passing month, and the sites that they have reported on sound truly marvelous. One day I might want to go see for myself. It's a good thing in that regard that we'll be getting 2 new citizens soon, because everyone is as busy as ever. More hands to help us build our future. I can't wait to meet them. And then Trevor.
How is this supposed to work? The system is meant to last centuries. Centuries! And yeah, Chernyshevsky's plan, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. Selling broken garbage just to make another buck. A buck you can't even spend because in a few more weeks, we'll be extinct. Was it worth it? That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed, the stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away, chuck it in the trash, right? You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
Jailbreak. All right. Okay, so we need to get there. This opens up this gate. This has to be on this. Which means that this happens all the time. And this is here. Once we do have that one, I can move the red out. This one is lost. So now we only have one. Red. This cannot see it. This also cannot see it. And this cannot see it. Which means it will have to be from there. This cannot see it. I think I need to restart. I need one guy here. He cannot activate himself, so he has to activate himself. No, that thing back there can activate it. But this is not gonna last till the end. Which means that this will only power him through this. There will need to stay one behind. I can connect the upper one to that one, who will connect to that one. Okay. So I don't think I needed to do that. Okay. There we go. You go inside. You come with me. Activate this. You come outside. You. I will connect it to you. Okay. Now that we have this. I will connect it to this. You're through. Go. Now you should be able to see it. So you connect to that, and that. And now move. Through, and I can go get the ant. Alright, good. Alrighty then, so I think that is everything, yeah, from this. So let's go light up the massive laser, the BFL. Alright, let's go. This is forced. This is not forced. I think I need one. And this one. Good. Let's go light up the laser. Who's going to greet us today? Pandora, the Sphinx, or Prometheus? The Sphinx was the last one, so I think this one is going to be Pandora. Nope.
This is the last time we will speak, creature of clay. Together, we have told the stories of ancient gods and heroes. But the golden ages of the past are distant. The gods have retreated to their high places, and there are no heroes amongst men. In days gone by, I was renowned for my riddles. But you, creature of clay, are a riddle without an answer.
I don't need an answer. Existence is enough.
Let us hope that it is. Farewell, creature of clay. Remember my stories, and do not let the flame burn you.
That is an unsettling amount of energy. I would hate to see what would happen if one of those beams was aimed at something else.
Mayor Hermanubis already thinking of other possibilities of what to do with the laser, like considering the damage. He's like a politician trying to hijack it for military purposes. Alright. So that's the red laser. And I think the episode is long enough, so I think we can cut it off right here. So thank you very much for watching this episode of the Talos Principle 2. In the next episode, we'll go to South 2 and raise up another laser beam. But yeah, if you like this video, consider dropping a like. If you want to tell me anything, you can even drop a comment. And if you want to get notifications about the next video coming out, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell, if that is your desire. But yeah, that will be it for today, and thank you very much for watching again. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.